Tato Jayamudiraye. So here we see general mistakes that we do is Narayana, Namaskrityam we tell sometimes. So this is Namaskritya, and then Naram, Shaiva, Narottamam. Then it is Devim, like Devim. So like there is a Dirga, this one, Saraswati, so must be there, and Vyasa, and Tato Jayam Udiraye. So Narayanam Namaskritya, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswati Vyasam, Tato Jayam Udiraye.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye.
You go through it meaning Narayanam, the personality of Godhead. Namaha Kritya, after offering respectful obeisances. Naram Cha Deva, and Narayana Rishi. Nara Uttamam, the supermost human being. Devi, the goddess. Saraswati, the mistress of learning. Vyasam, Vyasadeva. Tataha, thereafter. Jayam, all that is meant for conquering. Udiraye, be announced. Translation of the quote by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Jai Shri Prabhupada. Purport: all the Vedic literatures and Puranas are meant for conquering the darkest region of material existence. The living being in the state of forgetfulness of his relation with God due to his being overly attracted to material sense gratification from time immemorial. His struggle for existence in the material world is perpetual and is not possible for him to get out of it by making plans. If he at all wants to conquer this perpetual struggle for existence, he must re-establish his eternal relation with God, and one who wants to adopt such remedial measure must take shelter of literature such as Vedas and the Puranas. Foolish people say that the Puranas have no connection with the Vedas. However, the Puranas are supplementary explanation of the Vedas intended for different types of men. All men are not equal. There are men who are conducted by mode of goodness, others who are under the mode of passion, and others who are under the mode of ignorance. The Puranas are so divided that any class of men can take advantage of them and gradually regain their lost position and get out of the hard struggle for existence. Srila Sutta Goswami shows the way of chanting the Puranas. This may be followed by persons who aspire to be preachers of the Vedic literatures and the Puranas. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless Purana, and it is especially meant for them who desire to get out of the material entanglement permanently. Om Jnana-Timirandasya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Ramahyam Dadati Swayantikam. Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Bhagavatam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadhaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Radhan Sarvagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Yogamagani Prachandini Devi Shesha Shundravati Paschatya Deshakarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahadevaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurashri Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tattatam Charidoram Nirabe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this text that Narayana Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam. This is often recited before the Srimad Bhagavatam class, and here also we see that in the chapter 1, the sages of Naimisharanya, so they have asked various questions. They have asked various questions, and here Suta Goswami is speaking, is starting to speak, and when he is speaking, first and foremost, he is actually offering Mangalacharana. So last few shlokas. So first shloka I spoke about that Suta Goswami, he started speaking. So that is, and then the second, third and fourth, these three are the Mangalacharana prayers. So then after that, he starts responding to the questions. So he is mentioning in the second and third, we will just briefly see. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the great sage Shukadeva Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. When he went away to take up the renounced order of life, sannyas, leaving home without undergoing reformation by sacred prayer or the ceremonies observed by the higher caste, his father Vyasadeva, fearing separation from him, cried out, "O my son!" Indeed, only the trees which were absorbed in the same feelings of separation echoed in response to the bereaved father. And then we see, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Shuka, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who, out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest region of material existence, spoke this most confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge, after having personally assimilated it by experience. And today we are seeing, before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very means to conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. So we see that before we start to speak on the subject matter of Krishna consciousness, be it Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, so we offer this Mangalacharana prayer So why do we offer this Mangalacharan prayer? So here Sutta Goswami is offering his prayer, and we also offer a prayer, starting with Om Madhyana Tindaramdasya. And so what do we actually do? So we offer our respects to the spiritual master. We offer our respects to all the personalities in the Guru Parampara. So because we understand this spiritual knowledge is not something that we can access by our own strength and capacity. So we don't have the capacity to access them. So in fact, if you see, we have only capacity to access the gross things, which we can touch and perceive. The things that are made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. So beyond that, we can understand there is mind, intelligence, and we can understand there is soul, but it is very difficult to perceive the soul and the super soul and personalities, entities like that. And here, though these subject matter is presented in easily understandable English language, so but still it is to be considered the spiritual subject matter. So as it is difficult to access the soul, or the super soul, in the same way, it is almost impossible for us to access the spiritual subject matter. So but the spiritual subject matter can be revealed to us. So this is one nice shloka which talks about this. Is Atha Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Gahyam Indriya Sevam Mikehi Jivada Swayam Evas Puratya. So this the spiritual subject matter, that is Nama Rupa Guna Leela of the Lord. So these things cannot be accessed by our blunt material senses. So but then when we render service unto the Supreme Lord, so by the grace of the Lord, so this knowledge can be revealed to us. So this is the formula. And now, how do I approach the Lord? So there is a protocol, to approach the Lord also. So first and foremost, I approach the spiritual master, and through the mercy of the entire Guru Parampara, so I can receive this knowledge. So that is how we see that Sutta Goswami, he is competent, he is well educated, he is well trained by his spiritual master, but before attempting to answer the questions of the sages, so he is offering his respects to all the personalities in the Guru Parampara. So the first two shlokas, so that is second and third shloka of this chapter. So he is glorifying and offering respects to his own spiritual master, that is Shukadeva Goswami. So what is the glorification that he is offering? So he is mentioning that I am offering respectful obeisances unto the great sage Shukadeva Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. So that is, he is almost like Paramatma. He is very, very exalted soul, and he is Trikalagnya. So many of these great transcendental personalities, including Vyasadeva, Shukadeva Goswami, so they are capable of knowing things. So they are Trikalagnya. So that is why it is mentioned that in fact Shukadeva Goswami also spoke about what will happen in the Bhavishya. So what will happen when the Kali Yuga progresses. So what will happen. So all those things also Shukadeva Goswami spoke. So he is Trikalagnya. And then it is mentioned that he went away to take up the renounced order of life sannyas, leaving home without undergoing reformation by sacred thread or ceremonies observed by the higher caste. So his father Vyasadeva, fearing separation from him, cried out, "Oh my son." So it is basically like a child who doesn't want to go to the school, ghar se bhag gaya. So it may appear like that. So there are many reasons why the child don't want to go to the school or something like that. So here, though Shukadeva Goswami was a small boy, but then he was already very realized, already perfected. So one may study for attaining some perfection. So but Shukadeva Goswami is already perfected. So this sacred thread ceremony means Upanayana, means to bring a soul closer to the Lord, and also admitting him into the Veda Pata. So he formally starts the study of Veda Pata. And by study of the Vedas, he understands what needs to be done, how the life has to be lived. And then he guides others as well. So but then here Shukadeva Goswami, he is beyond all that thing. He is already perfected soul. He knows the reality of life. So because of that, he did not bother to go through the sacred ceremony, and he directly went on to renunciation. And Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva is the father of Shukadeva Goswami, and he was very much agreed that it is not a problem that his son is taking up to renunciation, but Vyasadeva is worried that no, I have to do my duty as a father, to impart various samskaras, samskara bhavet dvija. So janmana jayate shudra. So by birth, everyone is equal to animalistic, or it is like base kind of this one is there. And when samskaras are performed, so then he becomes dvija. He becomes qualified to learn the Vedas and to understand the life and make progress in Krishna consciousness. So Vyasadeva was very much worried that I did not discharge my duty as the father. So he wanted to, he was feeling separation from his son in that way. And then it is in the next shloka, so Sutta Goswami continues to glorify Shukadeva Goswami, his spiritual master. He is saying that, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Shuka, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasa, who out of his great compassion for the gross materialist who struggled to cross over the darkest region of material existence, spoke this most confidential supplement to the theme of Vedic knowledge, after having personally assimilated it by experience. So now, Sutta Goswami is going to answer the questions asked by the sages of Naimisharanya. And so the answer, he is not cooking up something of his own. He is just repeating whatever his spiritual master has spoken. And he is glorifying his spiritual master, saying that, so this, he is a very, very great personality. My spiritual master is a great personality, and who, out of compassion for all the materialistic people who are struggling in the material world, he has spoken this most confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge. So what is the cream of Vedic knowledge? Vedanta Sutra, and Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta Sutra. So this is like the cream of Vedic knowledge, and this is the supplement or the commentary upon the Vedanta Sutra, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. So that was spoken by Shukadeva Goswami, and Sutta Goswami is going to repeat the very same message which his spiritual master has spoken. And he is feeling very grateful to his spiritual master that he was given this knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that another very important aspect that is mentioned is that Shukadeva Goswami did not speak Srimad Bhagavatam just as a theoretical this one. So in fact, he has personally assimilated it by experience. So that is the position of Shukadeva Goswami. And then after that, here Sutta Goswami is also invoking the blessings or offering obeisances to various other personalities as well. So here he is mentioning that before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very means of conquest, no conquering over the material existence, conquering over the material bondage. So the Srimad Bhagavatam, the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam is the very means of conquest of this material energy. And before doing so, one should offer obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana and Nara. So the two personalities, Nara Narayana, so they are there. So Nara Narayana Rishi, now they are the worshipable deity of the residents of Bharatavarsha. So this we will find in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So every different tract of land have a deity, who is predominating deity in that particular place. So Nara Narayana, so they are they are the predominating deity of this Bharatavarsha. And Narayana and Nara, so Nara is the best of the human beings, and Narayana, so Nara and Narayana, so they actually appeared as Krishna and Arjuna also, and in this way they perform various pastimes. So this obeisances is offered to Nara Narayana Rishi, and then obeisances is also offered to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning. So any knowledge, be it material or spiritual. So Mother Saraswati is the goddess of learning. So her blessings is very essential. And to Vyasadeva, who is the author of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So now Vyasadeva wrote or Vyasadeva conceived Srimad Bhagavatam. Then he taught it to Shukadeva Goswami, and then he taught it to Suta Goswami, and now Suta Goswami is going to start speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. So he is practically offering his respects to the Guru Parampara, which we also do through our Mangalasharan prayers, and the various other prayers that we offer. So the spiritual master, then the chain of disciplic succession, then Panchatattva and Sri Sri Radha and Krishna along with their associates. So this is how we offer our prayers before we attempt to speak upon the transcendental sound vibration, or we attempt to speak about the Supreme Lord. So this is how the method. So one nice example I came across is that if you see, there is a water tank. Water tank is the reservoir of all water in your home. And if you want to access the water, so how will you access the water? Through the pipeline and a tap. So you don't directly access the water from the water tank. So in the same way, Krishna is the ocean of mercy. Krishna is the ocean of all spiritual knowledge. So if you want to approach, you approach through the Guru Parampara. So that is a way of approach to the spiritual knowledge. So now here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions all the Vedic literatures and Puranas are meant for conquering the darkest region of material existence. So all the Vedas, so like Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas, all of them, so they are having only one purpose, so that is relieve the living entity from the material existence. Bhagavad Gita book. So all this Vedic literatures, that is in the form of Shrutis and Smritis, Puranas, Itihasas and many other disciplines, all of them are meant for only one purpose, that is to releasing the living entity from the darkness of material existence. So in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada actually writes this particular aspect. So in the introduction, Prabhupada very carefully brings about what all the sadhyas that is there, and what all the sadhanas that is there, and how to approach this particular this particular knowledge. So first of all, he establishes that we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and we are meant to render service to the Supreme Lord. And we are eternal. The Supreme Lord is eternal. The spiritual world, that is also eternal. So and the relationship between us and the Supreme Lord, so that is devotional service, that is also eternal. And how do we actually understand this? How do I get information about myself, that is the soul, and how do I get information about the spiritual world, or how do I get information about the Lord, or how do I get information about my relationship with the Lord, that is devotional service? So for all of this, one has to approach the scriptures. This is very important, this one. And here, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, in life we are accustomed to thinking either of material or of spiritual energy. Now, how can we transfer our thoughts from material energy to spiritual energy? So because we only understand about what is my body and what needs are there for my body and things like that. So it is very difficult for us to understand that we are soul and we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So how will I start thinking in the spiritual terms? So then Prabhupada is writing, there are so many literature which fill our thoughts with the material energy, that is newspapers, magazines, novels, etc. And these days like YouTube, Instagram and many other things. So these all things can fill our mind with material energy. Our thinking, which is now absorbed in these literature, must be transferred to Vedic literature. So Vedic literatures is now we see that the mundane literatures, they are also composed of the same language, maybe English language. And here the spiritual literature is also composed of the same language. So but the reading which we are doing or seeing from YouTube or Instagram or something like that, so that is made of matter. So that increases our material bondage. So, but when we come in contact with the spiritual subject matter, which is revealed in the Vedic literatures, so then it is going to transfer our thought process into spiritual thought process. So now our thinking, which is now absorbed in these literatures, must be transferred to Vedic literatures. The great sages, therefore, have written so many Vedic literatures, such as Puranas. The Puranas are not imaginative; they are historical records. So, what is the meaning of this word Purana? Huh? Old. Purana means old. So like Puratana or Purana means old. So like these are all old histories of the world. So these are all not some concoctive stories or something like that. So imaginative stories. They are all real histories of the world. So now, even now, if you go to any bookshop and look for Bhagavad Gita or any of the spiritual literatures, so they will be in a section called mythology. So they are placed in a section called mythology. Mythology means, myth means something false. Mythology means something imaginative, false, or something like that. Some good stories, fables and things like that, and all. So they are imaginative stuff. So they put the Vedic literatures, the Puranas, and the like books like this in mythology. So that's something that we oppose, we object, that Puranas are not imaginative, they are real historical records. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 20:122, there is the following verse which says, Maya Mukta Jivera Nahi Swata Krishna Jnana Jivera Kripaya Kaila Krishna Veda Purana. So, Maya Mukta Jiva. So like living entity who is covered by the Maya or the material energy of the Supreme Lord. So Nahi Swata Krishna Jnana. So like on his own, he can never come to understand the soul, the super soul, the Supreme Lord. So he can never come to such an understanding. Like his understanding can only be limited to the material things. That which is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. So beyond that, he cannot. Like no science can ever identify what the soul is and what the activities of the soul is. So because it is beyond the capacity of its observation. So just like Srila Prabhupada often used to give an example of frog in the well. So frog which is there in the well. So how much ever research he conducts, he can only know till the limits of the well. So he cannot know something beyond the well. So that is not possible. But if he has to know something beyond the well, he has to hear from somebody who knows about it. So in the same way, here also like the living entity who is engrossed or covered by the material nature, so he doesn't have Nahi Swata Krishna Jnana. So he doesn't have knowledge of his own. He cannot understand the soul and the super soul on his own. So Jivera Kripaya Kaila Krishna Veda Purana. So out of mercy for the living entities. So what did Krishna, or here the word Krishna means Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. So Vyasadeva is also called as Krishna sometimes. So like he gave the Vedas and Puranas. So let's read a little bit more here. The forgetful living entities or conditioned souls have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord, and they are engrossed in thinking of material activities. Just to transfer their thinking power to the spiritual sky, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa has given a great number of Vedic literatures. First, he divided the Vedas into 4, then he explained them in the Puranas. So, what is the 4 divisions of Vedas? Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva. So, these are there. So, first he divided the Vedas into 4, and then he explained them in the Puranas. So what is the connection between Vedas and Puranas from this statement? He divided the Vedas into 4 and then he explained them in Puranas. So what does it mean? Vedas and Puranas have any connection? What is the connection? Puranas explain the Vedas. Puranas explain the Vedas. So even in fact, if you see the Vedic literatures, they themselves also, any of the Veda you take, so they have 4 different categories within them also. Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads. So like the Brahmacharis have their subjects, the Grahasthas have their subjects, the Vanaprasthas have their subject, and Upanishads are meant for the sannyasis. So now, this book also, it is not something that the brahmacharis are taught some different subject and the grahasthas are taught completely different subject. No, it's not like that. The same subject, which is taught increasingly, giving more and more light into it. So now the Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, they are technically classified under the Karma Kanda, where like one tries to follow the rituals, the daily rituals, whatever he is supposed to do. In the Vedic life, a person who lives, he has from morning to evening, everything that he performs is various Vedic rituals he performs. In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita shloka, which talks about Annad Bhavati Bhutani, so like food grains, all of us live by food grains. Without food grains, we cannot live. And how do we get food grains? Parjanyo Anna Sambhava. So by rains, we get the food grains. And then how do we get rains? Yajnat Bhavati Parjanyo. So when yajna is performed, so then rains come. So like dharmic activities are performed, then the rains come. And how to perform the yajnas? So like when to perform the yajnas? Yajna karma samudbhava. So like a person may be a brahmana or a kshatriya or a vaishya. So he may have like different roles and responsibilities. So all of them throughout the day, they actually perform yajna. Right from cooking till offering to honoring the prasadam. So every act is an yajna. Every act is performed as a means to please the Supreme Lord. And how to perform my karma? So like karma brahmodbhava. So this is mentioned that karma brahmodbhava. So like the prescribed duties are described in the Vedic scriptures. From the scriptures we understand our prescribed duties, and the execution of prescribed duties comprises of various yajnas, and by performance of yajnas, we get rains, and through that we get grains, and we are able to sustain our lives. So this is how the Vedic system is. So now the modern system, if anybody asks, like we need to study our school, college, and then we need to get a job, and from there we will get our paycheck and we'll purchase the grains. So this is an artificial model, and which doesn't answer many things in the cycle. So Vedic system is the yajnas is the economic system. Economic system is you perform yajna. So and which yajna to perform? So based on my varna and ashrama. So there are certain yajnas are prescribed for each and every person, and by performance of that yajna, so I contribute to myself also, and then I contribute to the universal order as well, right? So in that way, like we can see that the Vedas, they are first divided into like many different, the 4 different Vedas, and in that also many subdivisions are there, and each of these divisions contain these 4 ones, that is Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads. And Upanishads are considered to be Jnana Kanda. So like where the first 3 aspects, the Karma Kanda actually talks about how I can awaken my spiritual realization by performing by doing my material needs, in course of meeting my material needs. So that is the Karma Kanda. And Jnana Kanda is renouncing the material activities, the Varna and Ashrama duties. So one may go towards, like Upanishads, where it focuses upon like primarily like how to attain the Supreme Lord, or how to understand the Supreme Lord by the process of jnana. So that is Upanishads. And then like the Upanishads explain the subject matter which is there in the Karma Kanda. So now Upanishads are greater, and the Vedas themselves also are explained in Puranas. So like in the Vedic system we have this thing of Nirnaya and Nirnayaka. So Nirnaya means that which is to be understood, and Nirnayaka means that which is explaining this particular thing. So now the Samhitas, Brahmanas, and Aranyakas are explained, more clearly explained by Upanishads, and Upanishads is more clearly explained by the Puranas and Itihasas and things like that. And amongst them, Bhagavad Gita is considered to be like very nice summary of the entire Vedic literatures. And it is more clearly explained by Vedanta Sutras, and Vedanta Sutra is no more clearly explained by Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is how the gradation of the scriptures, that is there. So we see here that first he divided the Vedas into 4 and then he explained them in Puranas. And for less capable people, he wrote Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, there is given the Bhagavad Gita. Then all Vedic literature is summarized in the Vedanta Sutra, and for the guidance, and for further guidance, he gave a natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, which is called Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is how the gradation actually goes. And we must always engage our minds in reading these Vedic literatures. Just as materialists engage their minds in reading newspaper, magazine, and so many materialistic literature, and that these days, like many other social media ones, we must transfer our reading to these literatures which are given to us by Vyasadeva. It is that way it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of death. So this is the whole point, that the perfection of life is Ante Narayana Smriti, and in order to attain that perfection of life, so one need to transfer from material thought process to spiritual thought process. And how will I transfer? So it is about my engagement, where I am engaging. If I am engaging myself in the material pursuits, so then my last thought, Ante Narayana Smriti, will not happen. So maybe something that I have seen in YouTube or Instagram, that will pop up. And then based on that, whatever I remember at the point of death, according to that, I'll be transferred to another species or another life or something like that. Also including my other karmas and things like that. So but if I have sufficiently invested my time in chanting the names of the Lord and studying the Vedic literatures, so then these things will have a compound effect at the time of quitting the body. So one can expect to have Narayana Smriti. So it is quite possible to have such kind of a remembrance. So now we see many times the many different scholars, they actually discount Puranas, saying that these are all Smritis. So it is not Shruti. Shruti is very important. The Shruti means this Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads. So they don't change in the Varna Krama. So any number of times the Pralaya and creation of the world happens. So these Shrutis, they are as it is, again brought back into the existence. They are not changed. So like the meter, the the Varna, that is there, the arrangement of the words and the syllables and everything. So they are intact. So like the Shrutis are eternally permanent. So like the words are not changed. But the Smritis, like this Puranas, so they change. The characters change sometimes. So the explanation changes, and many different things changes actually. So in this way, the Smritis are changeable. Like it is changeable, or like it is not the same at every Manvantara or every creation. Every time the creation happens, the Smritis change. The Puranas, Itihasas, and all those things, the histories change. It's all recorded histories. They change. So now, sometimes people also say that the Puranas and Itihasas, the Smritis, they are not very important. The Shrutis are very important. So, but here we see from the Vedic literatures themselves, the gradation, the Shrutis are explained, further explained by the Smritis, the Puranas and Itihasas. So in that way, the Puranas and Itihasas, they give more clarity of the same subject matter which is discussed in the Vedas. So that is this one. So there is no two different subject matter that is discussed. There is only one subject matter that is discussed. That is how to revive our relationship and engage in the devotional service towards the Supreme Lord, and how to go back to the spiritual world. So that's the whole purpose. So now we see, coming back to today's this one, all Vedic literatures and the Puranas are meant for conquering the darkest region of material existence. The living being is in the state of forgetfulness of his relationship with God, and due to his being overly attracted to material sense gratification from time immemorial. So this is the problem at hand. The problem at hand is the living beings are in a state of forgetfulness. So how can we say that we are in a state of forgetfulness? So we are able to perceive only matter. No, we are not able to perceive anything spirit, and we are not able to even like have a cognizance of what we were doing in the past life or lives before that. And the spiritual dimension, though we are spirit soul, so the spiritual dimension is completely, we are not able to access at all the spiritual dimension. So that's the problem at hand. And why this spiritual dimension I am not able to access? So there is one nice thing that is mentioned here. The state of forgetfulness of relationship with God due to his being overly attracted to material sense gratification from time immemorial. So there are two actions. So one action, it enhances my bondage in the material world, it enhances the forgetfulness of myself. And then another action which actually revives my knowledge. So there are two kinds of actions that are there. And that is how any spiritual practitioner you meet, like they would ask what sadhana you are practicing. So sadhana means a set of activities to revive your original consciousness. So that's the sadhana. So now if my activities are meant for sense gratification, so then it enhances my forgetfulness. But if my activities are in devotional service, then it enhances my remembrance of the soul, super soul, and the Supreme Lord. So this is how the thing is there. And in fact, Arjuna asked this question in Bhagavad Gita. He asked that atakena prayuktohim papam charati purusha anichana vivashnaya baladiva niyojita. So he tells that I understand I am spirit soul, I understand that I should engage in spiritual activities, but then as if dragged by force, I am engaging in material activities. So why is it so? And Krishna answers that kama yesha krodha yesha rajo guna samudbhava mahashano mahapapno vidyena mahavaidino. So like even though you are a knowledgeable person, but still this kama or the desire for gratifying the senses, material senses, so that is the thing which covers your intelligence. So that thing actually covers the intelligence. The sense gratification covers the intelligence, and spiritual activities, removes the covering and then brings about the intelligence. So this is how these two different activities actually function. So now, for example, the process of eating. I can eat some foodstuff as a matter of sense gratification, or I can do the process of eating as an yajna. So two things that are there. So now I just liked some foodstuff, and then I saw that out there in the street somewhere in the shop, and then I purchased it and I just popped it into my mouth. So this is an act of sense gratification. So now why it is considered to be an act of sense gratification, we'll come to it. But then the proper way of doing it is acknowledging, I need something, my tongue needs something. So I acknowledge that, and then I perform. So I check the Vedic scriptures. If at all I have to eat. What am I supposed to do? So first of all, the Vedic scripture says that whatever is yours, you can take it, and then everything that exists belongs to the Lord. So nothing belongs to you. So okay. So if you have to take somebody else's this one, so there is a basic courtesy and etiquette that is there. You need to ask the person, right? Like, हमें कुछ चाहिए, like, so I want something of yours, so I like certain things, and it is also the thing that the Supreme Lord is the Father and Master of all the living entities, and He is the maintainer of all the living entities. So He is, naturally, like He's going to, He is definitely, whatever He has, I have a natural right, in accessing the property of the Supreme Lord. So बाप का property लेने में like किसको पूछना है? So like किसी को पूछने की जरूरत नहीं. But then the Lord has told that it is not that you only exist in this world. There are many other living entities exist also. So that is why the Ishavashyam principle is there. Ishavashyam idam sarvam etkincham jagatyam jagat tena taktena bunjita margata kashyasvidanu. So everything that exists belongs to the Supreme Lord, and He has made a system how to supply it to all His living entities, all His children. So we have to follow that system. So it is not that I only exist. So I just purchase some food stuff and I cook and eat. It is not done. So but then it is not like that. So the food stuff, in order for you to get these grains, some insects have done the pollination, and there is tree and plants. They are also living entities. They are also living. So now you have to pay back to all these different parties. Many different parties have worked for it, and we have to pay back to all of them. So that is how the proper payment actually comes. So it is now I may say like I've just paid some money and got some rice. No, so I have paid the price for it. No, it is not. You have not fully paid the price for that thing. So, but when you perform the Vedic yajnas, so then all the different parties who are supposed to be paid are rightly paid for, and then your food becomes sinless. So then that food is offered in the yajna. So when it is offered in the yajna to the Supreme Lord, and first the Lord accepts it, and we accept it as prasad. So that is a proper way of performance of yajna. So like anything that is not accepted without offering is considered to be like in Bhagavad Gita itself it is mentioned Ekya Shishta Shino Shanta Muchante Sarva Kilvishay Bunjante Agam Papa E Pachanti Atma Karana. So anything that is to be consumed, so first and foremost it must be an Ekya Shishta. It must first be offered to the Lord, and the remnants of the offering, that is called prasad. So that must be accepted. That is fit for consumption. And so if I directly accept something, so e pachanti atma karana, so that kind of a cooking process or that kind of a consumption process is only process of consuming the sin. Because there is the first and foremost is nothing belongs to me. Everything that exists belongs to the Supreme Lord, and it is paradravya. It is not. It is not my property. It is paradravya. And I need to follow the principles, the rules and regulations given by the Supreme Lord. So it is very nice process of approaching this thing. And when I perform yajna, so then when I perform all these things, like when I perform the offering and I accept the prasad and things like that. So there also I am getting to eat the foodstuffs, but that kind of eating is going to facilitate my awakening of knowledge. So, but without offering, without the proper consideration, I just simply eat, for my own satisfaction. That kind of eating process increases my ignorance. So the foodstuff is the same, but the process in which I accept it, it makes a difference. So just like if a bank employee, a cashier is there, so he has so much of cash he is counting every day. So one day, he felt that there is some need, personal need is there, for cash for himself. So he just took the cash and he didn't inform the bank. So thought that salary mein square off kar lenge, So and then the bank got to know that this cashier has taken some cash, and then so when he was confronted, so he just gives an argument. See, I needed urgent cash. Anyway, you people are going to pay me salary. So thoda pehle le liya. Isme kya problem hai? So no, it is a problem. You did not access the cash through proper protocol. So when you submit all the cash to the bank and you take a paycheck, that is like prasad. That is you're entitled to enjoy that particular cash. But without this proper protocol, without submitting the cash to the bank, you directly access the cash, then that is problem. That is sin. So that is the same thing here also. So grains are there, before offering also it is grains, after offering also it is grains. Pehle khali hai to kya problem hai? So problem hai, that is sin. So we have to offer it to the Lord and accept it as prasad. So that is the proper way of performance of yajna. So now because of being engaged in the sense gratification, so this we just dealt with the matter of eating. So in the same way, the sleeping also can be performed as yajna, working can be performed as yajna. So all the different activities that I am doing, so everything must be performed as yajna. So if yajna is performed, so then I get spiritual awakening, or otherwise, this thing happens. The living being, he is in the state of forgetfulness of his relationship with God due to his being overly attracted to material sense gratification from time immemorial. His struggle for existence in the material world is perpetual. So is not just one lifetime. It is not that I quit my body, so if somewhere or other I die, so then I get liberated. No, it is not like that. So in fact, anybody who dies, so they tell that he paralok mein chala gaya. तो परलोक में जाने के लिए like no बहुत पुण्य होना चाहिए. So like simply by dying, no, you cannot go to no, like what is it, some higher destination. So you should also have performed yajna, and you should also have the remembrance of the Lord at the point of death. So his struggle for existence in the material world is perpetual, and it is not possible for him to get out of it by making plans. So by my own endeavor, any amount of my own endeavor, I will not be able to get out of this material existence or the existence of ignorance. So I need to perform yajnas. No, that is why in the Vedic system, everybody are recommended to perform yajnas. Various yajnas has to be performed. So the key yajna, the most important yajna in this Kali Yuga is chanting the names of the Lord. The Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this must be performed, and additionally, like based on one's own particular situation, so one also need to perform various other yajnas. So now, so his struggle for existence is perpetual, and it is not possible for him to get out of it by making plans. If he at all wants to conquer this perpetual struggle for existence, he must re-establish his eternal relation with God. So that is the that is the way that we end this suffering, end the struggle for existence in the material world. So the moment we understand our relationship with the Supreme Lord, we are immediately relieved from all the struggles for material existence. And one who wants to adopt such remedial measures must take shelter of literatures such as Vedas and Puranas. So this is the way like we take shelter of the Vedic literatures. Even in the shloka of Bhagavad Gita that we discussed, Annat Bhavanti Bhutani, Parjanyo Anna Sambhava, Yajnat Bhavati Parjanyo, Yajna Karma Samudbhava, and then Karma, Yajna Karma Samudbhava, and then Brahma, Karma Brahmodbhavam Vidhi. So karma actually, from where does the karma comes? From the Vedas. So that is why the Vedas and Puranas are the main main sustaining factor. So from the Vedas and Puranas you get your karmas, and from there the yajnas come, and from there the rains come, and from there the grains come, and that's how we subsist. So that's how this one is. So now the Vedas and Puranas, so one should take shelter of the Vedas and Puranas. And foolish people say that the Puranas have no connection with the Vedas. So that we discussed from the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, we read that what is the connection between the Vedas and Puranas? Puranas explain the Vedas, right? So Puranas give more light to the Vedas. It is the same subject matter that is discussed. So the living entity is caught up in this material existence. How to release this living entity from the material existence, or how to release the living entity from the ignorance and transfer him to knowledge. This is the whole purpose. And what is the point of success in this project? When we understand our relationship with the Supreme Lord, so that's the point of success, then all our material existence, all the struggle for material existence actually stops. And how do I go from 0 to 100 in this whole project? So by performance of various yajnas, so by performance of our prescribed duties and yajnas. So that's how we traverse from ignorance to knowledge, or darkness to light. So, however, the Puranas are supplementary explanation of the Vedas, intended for different types of men. So the Puranas are also of various types. So what are the different types of men are there? All men are not equal. There are men who are conducted by the mode of goodness, and others by mode of passion, and others by mode of ignorance. So to cater to them, the Puranas are also divided into all these different modes. So there are Puranas for people in the mode of ignorance, and the Puranas for people in the mode of passion, and Puranas for people in the mode of goodness. So who is considered to be in mode of ignorance? What is the qualification to be in mode of ignorance?
Laziness.
Okay, that's symptoms of mode of ignorance. So in terms of scriptures, now we are talking about reading scriptures and things like that. So who are in mode of ignorance? Huh? So people who don't want to follow any rules and regulations. No, so they are in mode of ignorance. And people who want excessive sense gratification, and people who don't follow any rules and regulations, they are in mode of ignorance. And passion, people who are desirous of sense gratification, but they follow the pious Vedic rituals, in order to attain sense gratification. So that is like passionate people. Passionate people, they want growth in the material world, and they perform all the Vedic rituals very nicely in order to attain success in the material world, in order to get more prosperity in the material world. So that is passion. And goodness, huh? So goodness,
Reading the scriptures.
scriptures, all of them are going to read scriptures now. So like the people in mode of ignorance, they have their set of things to huh? Attaining moksha. So they don't want anything within this material world. They want something beyond the material world. So that is like the people in the mode of goodness. So the Vedas or the Puranas, they give facility for all of these people. People who want to enjoy this material world. So they have, the scriptures have rules and regulations, how to actually enjoy this material world. So the scriptures, if this is the sadhya, if this is the goal that I want to enjoy this material world. So then the scriptures will give, okay, karma kanda is there. So you perform the karma kanda very nicely, and then you will get better facilities. You can go to the heavenly planets, you can have Janma Ishwari Shutashri, you can have better knowledge, or you can have better beauty, you can have more wealth, and all these things is possible by performing the karma kanda. And if somebody says no, like I don't want to do anything with this world, even if I achieve something, after some time I have to lose it. So I am spirit soul and I am permanent in my existence. Why should I want anything in the material world? I want to go beyond this material world. I want to attain moksha. So then it is the jnana kanda actually comes into picture. So where the same principles, it is the same principles what is there in the karma kanda, but in a little more refined way. So the people in the jnana kanda also going to do. And somebody is telling that, no, I understand that I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. I want to go to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, and I want to engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord there. So then the aspect of the devotional service, the devotional literatures are recommended. So like Srimad Bhagavatam actually comes under the category of devotional literatures. It doesn't come under the category of goodness, passion, or ignorance. So it comes under the transcendental goodness or Vishuddha Sattva. So now the Puranas are supplementary explanations of the Vedas, intended for different types of men, and there are men in goodness, passion, and ignorance, and Puranas are also divided that any class of men can take advantage of them and gradually regain their lost position and get out of the hard struggle for existence. So this is how, like all the Puranas, all the things are, all the Vedas and Puranas are ultimately guiding our soul to get out of the material trouble. But then the candidates, they have this one, okay, I want to get out of it, but not immediately. I want to first enjoy this world, and then I want to get out of it. So then there are different kind of scriptures that actually guide such students. And there are certain people, no, I have done with it. No, I don't want to do anything with this world. I only want to attain liberation. So then there are certain different scriptures are there, which guide such kind of students. And there are certain other students who say that I understand this material world, I don't want to do anything with this material world. And I also don't want to simply get out of this material world, but I want to revive my original position as the servant of the Supreme Lord in Vaikuntha. So then, for them the devotional literatures are recommended. So but all the literatures have only one point of how to liberate the living entity from the clutches of material existence and to revive its original position. Right? So the Puranas are so divided that any class of men can take advantage of them and gradually regain their lost position and get out of the hard struggle for existence. Srila Sutta Goswami shows the way of chanting the Puranas. So now, okay, so this is the subject matter of Puranas and how to chant these Puranas, how to recite these Puranas. So Sutta Goswami is telling, right from the shloka 2, 3 and 4. So before recitation of the Puranas, So one should formally offer his respects to the Guru Parampara, because of their mercy we are getting this knowledge, and whenever we access this knowledge, we offer respects to the Guru Parampara. So that's all. Like we should chant these Puranas. This may be followed by persons who aspire to be preachers of the Vedic literatures and the Puranas. Srimad Bhagavatam. So that this is the recommendation, or this is the thing that the Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. Before we recite, even the personal reading also. So before you start reading, offer prayers to the Guru Parampara, offer prayers to Panchatattva and Radha and Krishna. So and take their permission. So this is transcendental literature, and I am a material person. My mind cannot access this transcendental literature. But if you are merciful to me, so these literatures can penetrate my mind, which is filled with material thoughts and material consciousness. And by the grace of the spiritual master and the Panchatattva and Radha and Krishna, so my mind may become spiritual. So in that way, that is a way of approaching. Before we offer, just like the food, before we eat, we offer it to the Lord, and then we start honoring the prasadam. In the same way here also, before we access the spiritual literature, we offer prayers and respects to the Guru Parampara. So this may be followed by the persons who aspire to be preachers of the Vedic literatures and the Puranas. And then it specifically mentions, Srila Prabhupada specifically mentions about the position of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless Purana, and it is especially meant for them who desire to get out of the material entanglement permanently. So there are people who get out of the material entanglement temporarily. So that is moksha. One attains moksha. The moksha is not permanent. He may again fall back into the material existence. So here we see that if we enter into the spiritual world, and if we re-establish our relationship with the Supreme Lord, as a loving servant of the Supreme Lord, so that is permanently getting out of the material entanglement, and that kind of a knowledge is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So with this we pause today's discussion. Any questions or comments we can take? Hare Krishna. So there is another purport also is there, in case if we have time, we can, very small purport, so we can also look at it. It is, we will see, like after question and answers if we have time.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu very nicely gave a
question answers.
Directly question answers?
Yes.
Okay. Then somebody at the end. Oh, okay. Anybody has?
No, small question.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So Prabhuji, as you very nicely explained that eating the prasadam, and with the example with that bank throw. So you mentioned that sleeping also yajna, working is also yajna, because most of us are grihastha. So what's the practical team? How each our activity we can actually make it yajna?
So now in the Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, you find this thing that yukta hara viharasya yukta chetasa karmasu. So all of these things must be yukta. Yukta means like dovetailed in Krishna consciousness and used for the Krishna consciousness. If the body is used in the service of the Lord, so then the rest that is given to the body also will become the service of the Lord. And then the work that we perform, if you see the definition of Uttama Bhakti, Anyavilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anadrutam. So now our work, work means it comes into the category of karma. So the karma is not what is that? It is not to be. It's not mandatory to omit, the karma. So, but one thing is very mandatory to omit. That is anyavilasha. Anyavilashita shunyam. So jnana and karma can be utilized to the extent it doesn't cover bhakti, but adharma or anyavilasha, so that must be zero. So that is why our work should be in such a way that it should not comprise of adharma. It should not be in any adharmic means. So we cannot engage the money that is earned in an adharmic way in the service of the Lord and call it devotional service. No, it is not possible. Adharma cannot be used in devotional service. So dharma comprises of truthfulness, austerity, cleanliness, all those things, the four relative principles that we follow. So those things are very, very essential. So our vritti, our profession should be based upon these values and principles. Ideally speaking, it should be one of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, that kind of profession is better. But right now the Varnashram system is in a broken state, we don't have that clarity of Varnashram system. So whatever profession that we choose, it should not be based upon adharma. So that is something very important. So we should not take professions which include gambling. We should, even if we are investing in stocks and things like that, we should not invest in companies which are primarily promoting gambling or intoxication and things like that and all. So then those things will have an impact in our execution of bhakti. So then the work that we do will not be yajna. So work becomes yajna when it is a dharmic activity and the results of the activity is used in the service of the Lord. So then the work becomes yajna. So like that. So we have to perform all different activities. If you read the scriptures, if you read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, you will find many, many instances, many, many different clarities that is offered. How to actually do various things, many great kings like Prithu Maharaj, Yudhishthir, and many other kings, the administration, how to perform administration as an yajna. So that is explained. And then the grahastha dharma. So then the women, the Stri dharma. How it is to be performed. So they are very elaborately explained in the scriptures. So all of us should have Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam with us, and we should read them every single day. So then we get lots more clarity in this thing. This here he had a question. Okay. So.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, what is Itihasa in spiritual birth? What refers? Mahabharata, Ramayana comes in our Itihasa or
Yes. Mahabharata and Ramayana is Itihasa. So there are Puranas, specific Puranas are considered to be Itihasas. So these two comes under the category of Itihasas, which is supposed to explain many more subject matters. So the Puranas may, there are many different subject matters are there. The creation, subsequent creation, then many subject matters are there. If only few amount of subject matters are described in that, so then it is Purana. And Itihasas still more subject matters. And Bhagavatam is called as Mahapurana. So this is all the 10 subject matters. Attra Sarga Visargascha Sthanam Poshanam Mutaya Manvantara Ishanukata Nirodha Muktirashya. So like that. So many different subject matters are there. All of them are, if it is described in one literature, then it is rated as something more higher. So that. So Ramayana and Mahabharata actually explains many things than other Puranas, normal Puranas.
Hare Krishna. A simple question. Upanishads are part of Vedas or?
Yes, part of Vedas. These four things are part of Vedas. Shrutis.
Every Veda is that division.
Divisions, yeah.